Greetings everyone, and I'm really glad to see you all today at another episode of Unscripted ASMR series. And since the last video was in Cyberpunk 2077 setting again, today I've prepared a huge nerd talk about Cyberpunk. So yeah, if you're a fan, make yourself comfortable. If you're not a fan, make yourself comfortable. This will be really boring for you, so it will be perfect for you to fall asleep during this video. But I gotta warn you. But this warning will come in the form of a quiz. What's common between this video and racing cars? Yes, there will be spoilers. So, if you didn't play the game, but you're going to yet, and if you're sensitive to spoilers, if it can ruin your game experience, I gotta warn you that there will be I'll have to reveal some, story elements, maybe some major plot twists, so be warned if you're afraid of spoilers. So it might be a good idea to close this video and watch it maybe later. And for those of you who are still with me, here's this nice cup of hot tea. Yeah, just a regular black tea, not too strong, so you can safely drink it before the sleep. I'll place it right beside you, and I have another cup for myself. But be careful, it's really hot. Almost as hot as today's topic. After the last video, I asked you fellas, who would you like to see as a romance option in Cyberpunk game? And I thought that I will troll you by giving you the most cursed options. And you actually trolled me by making Adam Smasher and Wakako the number 1 and number 2 accordingly. So yeah, today I will be reading your answers and we'll make our imagination work a little, let it run wild, and maybe imagine some scenarios how these characters can be our partners, friends, and even how they could affect the game and maybe the game ending. So yeah, let's begin. Goro Takamura, he broke my heart with his boomer tier texting skills. And I cannot agree more. Obviously, Goro is such a cool character that during my first playthrough, I thought it is obvious that he will be a romance option. And so I just patiently waited when finally this quest line will be available, but that didn't happen. And I think it's a real crime. So I think he could be actually more than just a friend, our V. And maybe, let's imagine how we could play that out. Maybe we had to sacrifice some characters and, Yorinobu will kill his sister and take the Arasaka throne earlier than we get to him. And that will result in that case that there will be no one left, that Takamura will be seen worthy to take the lead of Arasaka, so there will be no way to restore the justice for him in a proper way. So maybe we could convince him to actually become a nomad, like he mentioned, and maybe storm Arasaka Tower together with the nomads. And maybe he could exact his revenge and kill the Yorinobu, and then our V and Takamura could just ride into the sunset, or maybe they could stay in the Night City and become the top tier mercenaries in the afterlife, who knows. But yes, this is an obvious option and, obvious fail by CD Projekt. Why did they do this to us? Let's see the next comment. Changing Claire's backstory to it being her best friend who was the death race driver that got killed would have made her an easy romance addition. Yes, Claire is very popular character. I see a lot of love for her. And honestly, I can see why, because although she tricked us, maybe played us during her questline, but she obviously did that on emotions from the death of her beloved husband. But overall, she looks like a genuinely good person. So if maybe we remove that drama, and that really will be not her husband but her best friend, actually she will be a great romance option, because she could be also our partner in our mercenary life, since she's connected to the afterlife. And maybe in the game end we could call her with whatever ending we choose. She will help us with her super, shooting skills and her overpowered car. Yeah, and that will be, I see like that could be a really sweet romance. She's a nice person. I like her. Alright, also Sandra Dorset would have been easy, especially considering her follow-up quest beyond the intro. Yes, she's a really skilled net runner, so maybe if after saving her we could become a little closer with her. She also could help us in the end. Maybe she'll be the net runner who will provide us a connection with the alt instead of voodoo boys, probably. So yeah, that could play out really nicely, I think. Let's see what's next. Alex, the lady agent from the DLC, was a favorite of mine. I can see why you want to see her as a romance option, because actually if you go to see her before the final mission, you can have a really nice talk that looked like it actually could end up as some romance sideline, but for some reason that didn't happen. Maybe developers decided not to waste time on that line. Alright, let's see what's next. Blue Moon from Us cracks after saving her from the stalker. Yes, and that could be actually interesting. Maybe when you go to attack the Arasaka Tower, they could play a concert like Johnny did back in the days to divert the, guards' attention. And if you become the top tier solo in the city, you will be a great fit for a #1 pop star in that city. That French girl in the DLC? Yes, my answer is yes. If you choose one of the routes in the DLC, you find out that she actually was in the Sinus Shore. She connected to all that creepy darknet structures, and she's a really top tier net runner. So maybe I think it will be a really great option if you could actually in the Phantom Liberty side with Kurt Hansen, ditch the Songbird and President Myers. Actually, I was so sure that it will be possible, that it was like obvious to me, but also for some reason there was no such option, and that's a real shame. I think that will be really cool, to, like, if it was a true RPG, to take completely different side and side with them, guys that intended to be villains. And so you can join forces with Kurt Hansen. Don't let slimy Mr. Hands to rule over the Dogtown. And you could also deal with the Cynosure, with the Blackwall demons, with the help of the Cassell twins. And that will end the game. You will be cured and you can spend time with your super cool netrunner girlfriend, Aurora. The guy who killed his father in the first heist. I believe you mean Yorinobu Arasaka. Yes, it's a shame you cannot actually join forces with him. Seems like a really tragic dude. So that will be really interesting. You could actually, betray Takamura. And that will be also a nice route to pick an Adam Smasher as your romantic interest. Because, he sees a V like something in between an insect and a trash can. But if he only knew how many people V flatline during all the side missions and NCPD patrols. And if you want to hold back on implants, you could be also actually the same kind of cyborg as Atom Smasher, but with the only difference that our V is still covered with skin. So yeah, if Smasher see how many people we killed during the game, I think he will grow to respect V for him or her being, or any other gender you create, being a real psychopath just like the Smasher himself. And then could be a start of a really nice toxic relationships of two psychos that like to destroy and kill everyone. And with that route, you could betray Takamura, betray Hanako, don't even make contact with the nomads and just take Yorinobu's side. Help him eliminate his, opponents. Take the Arasaka throne, and you could be partners either with him or with Atom Smasher under his lead as chiefs of security or something like that. Yeah, but you need to be a real asshole to do that to Goro. But actually, that will be an interesting option. Barry, that dude needs somebody to love. Yes, Barry seems like a really nice guy. And if you help him to stay alive, help him with his mental condition, I think that could be a really interesting and sweet romantic story. And maybe in the end of the game, he could help you with, his contacts at NCPD. So, yeah, why not? Honestly, I really just want a female romance option for Panam, since she was my first hard crush in that game. Yes, actually Panam seems like the only real, love option in that game, because all the others quest lines with romances feel a bit incompleted, and only the Panam can help us in the end, save our life. She takes us to Nomad Clan, risks her life, and we can ride into the sunset with her. So yeah, it's a shame we either don't have that option for those who prefer males, or we don't have an option to romance her as a girl, because that's really unfair. Female V doesn't really have super cool romance options. I mean, they are cool, but they do not seem too significant in the end, because like these people do not participate, like River and Judy, they do not participate directly in solving our problem with imminent death from Relic, and Panam does. So yeah, making her love interest only for boys is a real shame. Lizzy, Sunbird, or any of the members of the girl band. Yeah, we discussed all of that, maybe except Sunbird. It's a real shame we cannot save her properly. But, in that one ending, when she actually stays alive, when we give her our lucky ticket, let's say, I think she could actually come back to us and help us, save our life, save our V. So like a Netrunner, also she could maybe help us contact Alt instead of Voodoo Boys. I think she will be capable of that with ease. She wouldn't even need any special equipment and special, Netrunner crew. So yeah, Atom Smasher, I could fix him. Step 1 is the pink Mario crown. Well, then you can make step 2 and, jump on your enemies together, and V's problems will be solved. So yeah, why not? Jesse Johnson, I really hope he got his burning disaster fixed. Then the romance can really start. I believe that's the flaming crotch guy. And why the hell not? He seems like a really fun person. So maybe in the end you can go to Arasaka Tower, but instead of, thermonuclear charges, you can just deploy his malfunctioning old implant, and that will blow up and destroy the Arasaka Tower again. Regina Jones, the cop. I'm not sure what cop are we talking about. Maybe it's Barry. But Regina Jones is super cool. I don't know why she got so little love. She's the only one who doesn't really give us too sketchy missions. Delamain, for the wholesome lulls of having an AI car as your significant other. Yes, and by the way, this could end up really interesting, because in the end you can just give up your body to Johnny and go beyond the black wall, but instead of fusing with the alt or whatever the hell she wants to do with you, you could just join Delamain, go under his care, and you'll become a power couple of two rogue AIs. One of them thinking like human, and another one is a true machine from beyond the black wall, and that will be super amazing. Alright, Takamura or maybe Mitch dies instead, and you can romance Scorpion, or just anyone that's not River, aka a compilation of every Vin Diesel character. Yes, I couldn't have said better myself, because River seems like they wanted to make him a super ultimate, filtered, raffinated, good guy, but instead he turned out a little bland. If you could romance some male characters from the Nomads, like Scorpion, or maybe somebody mentioned also a Soul, then after starting mission with the Panam, the rest you could do with the Scorpion. So you can go together and save Soul, and you can pilot the tank together. I've never played Cyberpunk 2077. I just insta-clicked Sasquatch. And that's a wise decision, my friend, you will not regret it. I bet Wakako has some pretty dirty secrets to not share. I mean, she's a woman of discretion. And why the hell not? You picked the Wakako as number 2 after the Smasher. So if you can, tame her or find some common ground, so you will not be just another name in her long dead husband's list. So why not? There's really no such thing as age in the cyberpunk world. Bugbear. Yeah, I believe there's a mod where you could actually not romance her, but you can exchange some romantic text messages with her. So yeah, maybe you should give it a try. Rebecca. That's not actually in the game, but I think that counts too. Maybe if she met V before David, she stopped being so obsessed with him. Or maybe if she somehow survived the events of Edge Runners, she will be not only a super sweet partner, but also ultimate part of the crew. And I believe we could easily storm the Arasaka Tower, like just the two of us. We could make it if we tried. How the is Dum Dum not first place? He's a homie bro at least, and my perfect love at best. Yes, and I cannot agree more. Personally, I picked Dum Dum in that poll. Yes, I voted in my own poll. And I think he's a really cool guy. He's really chill. He even shares his inhaler. And I know I'm not too experienced with talking to crackheads, but I guess for a crackhead it's a really big gesture to share things like that. So yeah, and he seems like if you scan him, I don't see records of murders or something like that. So yeah, he's just a nerd guy who seems really happy about his Militech bot and his new implants, and I think he could be a super cool romance with him, and super nice and funny interactions. Yeah, let's see what else. Bozo, I think he's a real blast, yes. And if you paid attention, there's also a note somewhere in the game that was a whole gang of clowns. And I don't remember the details, but like Ozop was the most, the biggest blast of them all, let's say. So yeah, in the end, I think he would be more than happy to help you slay a few dozens of enemies to save your life. Rhino, yes. But since animals only appreciate physical power, I believe, as bad as it sounds, first of all, you had to beat the shit out of that woman, and then you become some sort of alpha with the animals, and then you'll be a really power couple, and in the end you can, hang out with animals and make them help you instead of nomads, like with any other gang. And I think that will be all. Sorry if I didn't read exactly yours comment. Maybe some of them overlap and mention the same characters. Anyway, we're running out of time, but this was a really fun experiment to think how we could incorporate all that people into our relationships with V. Thank you all for voting and for your answers. That was a really, really fun and entertaining experiment. And some of your answers were really unexpected. I appreciate that because I like that weird, non-standard way of thinking. I'm kind of that person myself because my favorite one is still Dum Dum. So, if you missed the poll, you can still add your thoughts in the comments to this video. Be sure I read them all, even if I don't always answer to them. But yeah, thank you all for participating in today's nerd talk. I wish you all the sweetest dreams, and if you're not going to sleep, that I wish you all the best day ahead. And we'll see you real soon in the next episode of ASMR.